Hello and welcome to my channel, everyone. Or welcome back. My name is Selina and this is Bank of Me. And today I'm going to do an update on my savings challenges. So at the beginning of the year, I had great ambitions to replenish my emergency fund and save up for a few other things. So I've recently bought a house and it really depleted my funds. It is an old house, so it needs a lot of work, and I really put a lot of money into the house. So my emergency fund is sadly lacking, and I also have an old car, so that also needs some attention. And I have some other goals, of course, still related to the house and other things as well. So what I'm going to do is I show you first of all my plan for the year, my goals for the year, and then I'll give you an update on how February went and what I'm able to set aside, because I tend to not do this all at the beginning of the month when I get my paycheck, but I wait until I'm really 100% sure that there's nothing else coming up, and that's really the final figure. So the goal for 2025 is, the 1-year goal is to save up an emergency fund of 10,000 euro, to save up a home maintenance fund for repairs that are not planned, that are unplanned, of 3,000, and then car savings challenge for replacement car. And this is just a starter fund of 2,000. And then I have some other goals, like getting 1 month ahead on all expenses. I'm saving up for a cat. And yes, and then of course the big goals is medium term, I call it. Medium term would be between 1 and 5 years to pay off the mortgage early, which would be amazing. So let's go to February. So in February I have my normal fixed expenses, my variable expenses, and my sinking funds. And then I also, sorry, I hope you can see this, I have my savings challenges. And as you can see, I didn't put much in there yet for the 10K fund, the 3K fund, and the 2K fund. Well, the 3 and 2K fund I already put in some. So we will see. So let's start with the emergency fund. So I'm saving this not in cash, because there will be a lot of cash. I'm saving it in a savings account, separate from my normal checking account. And at the moment I had, let me see, for January I had saved up 600. Okay, so you can see that here there was 600, and there was the total 600 as well. Now for February, I'm also able to save 600, and that brings it to 1200. So let me just update this very quickly. So emergency fund, I put in 600, and the new total is 1200, which is already better. But I would love to speed this up. So let's just track that first, because at this rate it takes me 3 months savings to make up for 1 month emergency costs. So I really want to speed it up, but I also am just getting started. So let's see how this goes. This is the most satisfying part, I must say, of all the budgeting, etc. Is to be able to fill in these little coin jars in the emergency savings tracker. And it would be a great feeling to have all 6 months covered, so you can really relax and not worry too much. Like, there's no immediate danger. If anything goes wrong, you're covered for 6 months, which is great. So there we are. We have our 1200. So we're nearly there. So at the end of March, I should have 1 month saved up. So it's good. It's good. I'm not complaining. But I would love it to be quicker. Then next I have the 1 month ahead. I unfortunately won't be able to put anything in here. I only have my phone costs for 1 month ahead, so I leave that there. The cat fund I'm filling always on payday. That gets 50 euro at the moment, and the goal is to save up 500 euros. So that will stay. And then we have the dream car fund. So this is for the replacement car, really. So let's see. This is a savings challenge, so I'm just going to put in whatever I have. So at the moment we have 10, 15, 25 euro in here. And every time I save up money, I track it here, which is lovely. It's a lovely feeling. So let's see. So put this aside. This was in already. Let's put this here, and I have a little bit extra I can put in. So what I've been doing is first of all I've put away every 5 euro bill that I get, and I do miss them. That's mostly from groceries. So if I go grocery shopping and I get change and I get 5 euros back, I have to save it and then just pretend it wasn't there, or I spend it. And so that's where the 5 euro notes came from. And then, I also was able to sell something on Facebook Marketplace. So that's what I'm actively trying to do. I did it last year when I was saving up for emergency repairs on the house. And I saved, I don't know, was it 200, something like that, just by selling things I have. But that was easier because Christmas was coming up, I must say. So January was really slow. February is a bit better. As you can see, I got 40 euro. So I'm going to put all these extra bits towards the car fund for now. That's the plan. So let's see what we have. We have, let me put this here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fivers, so that means I can color in 5 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so up to there. It's a little bit of progress, which is nice, but again, I really want to speed this up, but I thought it's best also not to overwhelm myself with being too tight and, you know, make myself miserable. So that's not the point. We're starting slow. So that's the fivers, and then I have 220 notes. That is lovely to see. This is filling up. So this all would add up to, once I've colored everything in, to 2 grand. And I might put some, if I reach a certain threshold, I might put some of it on my bank account, on a separate bank account, and just put a placeholder in here. But for now, that's it. So we have, let me see. We have 20, 40, 50. 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 40. That is 50 and 40. That's 90 in total. Let me just write this in. And actually, last time I did it at the end of the month. So let me see. I put this in here. So I put in 10 was already in it. So I put in another 9. What was it? What did I have? I can't calculate. Bear with me. So now I have 90. So I put in 65 now. And that gives us, oh, you can't see this, can you? Sorry. That gives us 90 euro. So that's good. 90 euro is better. And I cross this out. And that's it. So that's my current stage. It's not too bad, but this is far from 10K. This is far from 3K. And this is very far from 2K. But we'll get there. We will get there and persevere. And I have a few ideas how to make it happen a little bit faster, because this is really quite slow. So put this in here, and I might do some cash condensing and swap these notes out for larger denominations. Yeah, just so it doesn't get too bulky. But you know, it being too bulky is also a good problem to have. So that is that. Okay, and then the rest in here, this is my dream savings challenge binder. So for the nice things, not for the things that need to be spent, but for peace of mind, a cat, obviously it's for fun, peace of mind with a car as well. And then dream home would be for furniture, etc., that I'm hoping to buy. You know, really things that I like. But as you can see, there's nothing in here yet because I'm still focusing on the home maintenance fund and the emergency repair fund. So that's that. And that's my status and my update. I do get paid once a month, so cash stuffing can only happen once a month. I'd love it to happen more often, but it's already nice to have some extra, to be able to put away some extra. And I was thinking about milestones as well. I was thinking, you know, you need to really reward yourself for your accomplishment, your achievements. So I haven't really decided fully yet, but for example, for the 6-month emergency fund, you could reward yourself after each month you've saved up, after each full jar, you know, each full 1 month emergencies. You could reward yourself for that. You could reward yourself after you've saved up 1 month ahead. The cat fund, I think the reward is getting the cat, so that doesn't need one. Car fund as well. I don't know. Maybe, but a reward might be nice. But I was thinking, in terms of rewards, I don't think I'd go for something frivolous, and it wouldn't really. It needs to be something I really enjoy and want. So it could be a weekend away, for example, if I manage to save up the 10K. But if it's smaller things like, I don't know, saving up 3,000 of the 10K, I might start putting in money into other funds. Like I would also like to save up for getting chickens. So, you know, it might be things like that I then splurge, you know. It's not really splurging. But it is in a way, splurge on something that's not strictly necessary and then put money aside for them. So the chickens are definitely one I want to start in the next few months, next couple of months hopefully. Education, this is something I'd love to put money aside for because there's always something popping up that's interesting. And for me, education is not just your professional, you know, what you do for a living, but it's also things like meditation courses or learning to paint, things like that. Doing specific things that sound really lovely, or yoga weekend that costs money. To me, I would all put this into education because you're developing yourself. Or it can actually be some kind of degree you want to do, of course. And then what I also would love to start is the dog fund, because apart from having a cat and chickens, definitely I would love to have a couple of dogs. And that's a bigger expense because you have to also consider things like fencing and other upgrades. So that's why I started with the cat fund, and then I think I move on to the chicken fund. But the dog fund is definitely something I'd love to be able to put money then aside. So for my milestones, I think what I'll do is instead of just a reward, the reward is going to be to allow myself to put money towards something that's not necessary. Although you could argue a vacation is actually necessary. So there's a dashboard for vacation here as well, but I'm not entirely sure if this will be a priority for me. So let's wait see. Then let me see, dream home. I made this for a friend. I'm using a different one. Library is also something that would be nice, but I don't see that in the near future. Kitchen, yes, a new kitchen would be great. And there's just a monthly pet fund when I have them. So yes, I think this makes sense for me, at least, to reward myself by adding new categories that I can save up for. And that's the celebration then, to be able to do this. So, instead of spending money on a big dinner or weekend away earlier on, or I don't know, a new dress or whatever you want, instead of spending it there, it's better to put a little bit away and then spend something on something you really, really like. Spend that amount there. So that's the idea behind that. My milestone rewards for my achievements. So I might make a little tracker, separate one where I can just cross off where I am and where the milestones are, and show you that. Show that to you next time. The other thing I was thinking about speeding up this whole process is I could do more no spend challenges. So at the moment my budget is already quite minimal, but it's not totally bare bones. So I have budgeted obviously for groceries, and that grocery budget could be smaller. I have 300 in here just for one, but I think it's nice to have a little bit extra there, not to be too restricted with food. And petrol, phone, and clothing gets a 10 euro at the moment. So it's already quite minimal. And then I have my sinking funds for the expenses that come up, quarterly, or things like, okay, there's the car maintenance here, Christmas, birthday. Although this fund I'm also dipping into, it's meant to be for my own birthday, but at the moment I'm dipping into this even for other people's birthdays, because I'm not filling a gift envelope or sinking fund at the moment, but that's okay. And then winter is for heating costs, home is for home maintenance, for that home maintenance challenge. But 100 euro obviously don't reach 3,000 savings very fast, right? 100 euro per month. So I'm gonna beef that up as well. And then we have cut and health for co-pays and medication, whatever you need. So it's already a bit bare bones, I feel. Not completely, but what I could do is do something like a no spend weekend, because weekends are really easy to overspend, aren't they? Because you have, well, it depends what you do, but if you work 9 to 5 or 8 to 6 or 8 to 7 or 8 to 8, whatever your job is, you might feel like now the weekend is the time where you can actually relax, enjoy yourself, and you can reward yourself. So it's very easy then to, just have a nice coffee here, a nice coffee there, meet some friends. And then shopping and browsing is really something you have to watch, because it's happening so quickly, and you get into a mindset, or you know the way you get into a mood. You buy one thing, and before you know it, you have it doesn't matter anymore, and you just spend. And that's really, it's not a huge problem, but if I want to be able to save up quicker for my goals, then it definitely jeopardizes my savings. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some no spend weekends as a start, and then I'd also love to do a spending freeze, and I tell you about that as well. But the weekends, so the whole point of a no spend weekend is to have, kind of need to have everything you need. That does not mean that you go out on Friday and you buy lots of things. But what it does mean is you think about what you have at home, what you need really to make it comfortable. Let's say you love your lattes or your cappuccinos. Of course, you're going to make sure you have milk at home and you have coffee at home. Whatever it is, whatever treats or ingredients to make something nice. So I think that's one of the keys, that you're not miserable, because you don't want to punish yourself when you're working so hard. You really want to enjoy your weekends, and you want to feel rejuvenated after them. So The whole idea is to plan a bit better. Also think about what things, activities you could do, projects you never have time for. And it depends if you're an extrovert, if you're an introvert, it might be easier to, lock yourself in at home and, or, stay in your area, but be mostly home based and do things like read those books that you wanted to read, or paint, or finish some project that you had, whatever it is, some craft project, or think about plan things. Planning can be great as well, planning how to decorate your home, or planning meals, or whatever it is. There's so much. Do movie marathons, and you can go to the library, pick up lots of books and DVDs if you have a DVD player or whatever. A lot of libraries have online resources as well, where you can get audiobooks for free, and ebooks and all of that. Some have movies and music as well. And of course, YouTube is a wonderful resource, has lots and lots of free movies, free books, audiobooks, everything, free entertainment. But I think for a no-spend weekend, it is good to kind of have a curated list of what you want to do. So you don't get bored. So you have something to choose from for different moods you might be in. And also you don't just randomly watch YouTube all weekend, but you pick what you want to do and you're selective, and then you actually enjoy it. So that's what I'm going to do this weekend, no spend weekend. And then let's see, I might do a few, and I might talk about that in a separate video. The other thing that's actually really a nice challenge is to spring a surprise challenge on yourself and decide to do a spending freeze. So the concept of a spending freeze, the first time I heard about this was from Jordan Page from Fun, Cheap or Free. And she has her own channel, and she's not very active at the moment, but she has lots of videos that you can watch in her watch list. And I think she's a mother of, 10, 7, 9, I don't know, lots of kids. But what she did was she did a spending freeze, where suddenly they would decide, okay, no spending for 7 days. What do we have at home? How do we survive? And then you could give yourself a mini budget to buy necessities that really would make a few random ingredients into a meal, so maybe you need some cream, or you need some milk, or you need some eggs that you don't have, but it needs to be like a small budget. So maybe like a $10 or €10 or 15, or depending on the size of your family, of course, but something really, really small. And then you challenge yourself to make food with what you have at home, and to make your own fun and to do things. And the freeze can be as long as you want. So it could be for a week, 5 days. I don't know if a month would be a great idea with food, but it could be like using up all the things in your freezer, in your pantry. It's nice to be stocked up, but you also have to rotate food. So it's a good way of using up food. And that actually goes for the whole no spend weekend too. You can really, really use it to use up what you have. You can make a spa weekend at home, where you use finally all those creams and hair conditioning masks and bubble baths and scrubs, all of this. So it's a nice way of enjoying the things you actually have and using them. Because the opposite happens when we go out and shop. We just buy and buy and buy, and we think we're going to use it, and we put it aside, and it's shiny and new, and it looks lovely. It looked lovely in the shop, and then you forget about it, and you end up not using it, not enjoying it. And you were so excited in the moment. So no spend weekends, no spend weeks, or spending freezes are a great idea for that. And that is all I have for you today. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Next time will be another cash stuffing weekend video. So next payday. So I'll see you then, and I hope you're well. Have a lovely week ahead, and happy saving. Take care. Bye bye.